Down for some Shipley donuts later on tonight?
Yeah, man. I'm down for some Shipley. Sounds like a good plan.
Sounds good.
10-4, 10-4. We got a report of a black male in a gated neighborhood doing suspicious activity. Come in.
Not on my watch. 10-4-3-5. Oh, we'll be there around 5 seconds. We're on 10th Street on Boulevard.
Kid, turn around and put your hands up.
Put your hands up.
Put your hands up. Hi, and welcome to this week of BLM. Today we have a sad story about an African American kid who got shot by two cops playing around with the BB gun. We have reporters on scene right now addressing the scene. We'll go to you now, Joe, so we can talk about more about the scene.
Okay, thank you, Bill. I'm right now on the scene of the crime scene where we're told by authorities at about 6 p.m. that the two police officers on duty received a call from the dispatcher saying that there was a local disturbance here. A 19-year-old African-American male suspected of having a gun, and the police officers came to the scene immediately, but without any further investigation, without looking to make sure that the gun was indeed an actual gun, they opened fire on the man, 19-year-old male, to find out only later that he was carrying only a fake BB gun, used for nothing more than to play around. And it's very unfortunate that this has occurred again in our local community. This was a 19-year-old African American who attended the local university here, and his parents are now here. They're very devastated, as you can imagine, and the local community here, his friends, are all grieving. Let me take you guys back on the crime scene here. As you can see, we have investigators on the scene, detectives, there's other investigators all around here. And here is the exact point where the event occurred. The gun is lying here on the ground right now. The cops have not yet touched any of the details on the scene in order to preserve all the evidence and to see what's going to happen from this point on. But again, those two officers are now on paid leave, and we'll be keeping you guys updated, seeing what happens from this point on. Back to you, Bill.
Sorry about that, folks. So, thanks, Joe. We have an exclusive interview with one of the family members of Willie. It's his brother Tyrone. He's very sad. He's been with Willie since... He's Willie's older brother, and he's been with Willie since, well, as long as they were born. They're from the same father and mother. That might be necessary information for this case. So, here's Tyrone Brown.
All right, hi. Thank you for joining us today. Can you please introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Tyrone. As you all know, earlier this week, my brother Willie was shot dead by two police officers. All he was doing was playing with a BB gun, and he was wrongfully shot. He was murdered.
How do you feel about that situation?
Well, I feel like it's really unfair. I mean, we all know what happened. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just literally just taking a piss, and he turned around. He was minding his own business. He had a BB gun in his hand. He happened to have a BB gun. And when the police saw that, obviously they thought it was a black guy with a gun. If it was a white guy, they wouldn't have done the same thing. They would have assumed it was a BB gun. But because it was a black guy, they thought it was an actual gun, and they shot him. They didn't even take a chance to even try to find out what the situation was, what was going on, why he had a gun or anything. They literally just shot him. He didn't even point the gun at him or anything. It was just totally unfair. I don't know why they did it, and there needs to be something done about it.
Have you heard about other stories of had other personal experiences in a situation similar to this?
Actually, I've had a lot of friends, black friends, just like me, who they've had family members shot by police officers. This is like a trend that's been going on for a while now. It's not like the first time something like this has happened. People are noticing this. There's something like police brutality toward black people. It's something we see everywhere.
And lastly, what would you like to say to these officers that did this horrendous thing to your brother?
I think, well, you know, they did the wrong thing. They shouldn't have done it. They know they did the wrong thing. They should be prosecuted, they should be tried, and they should go to jail, or maybe even executed for it.
Thank you.
So now that you've heard the story, we have our thoughts on what should happen to find justice for these cops. The families should be compensated for what they've gone through. The government isn't helping them at all. Isn't going to give them any money to pay for the funeral, and so but they have enough money to give the cops paid leaves until this whole story is resolved. The porn incident victims aren't the first ones to happen in this area. Kids and adults in the black community have been brutalized by the cops over years now, and this has to stop. Who are we to trust if we can't trust the cops? They are the backbone to the safety of Americans. So what we here at BLM are trying to do is we are going to tell you, the viewers, to donate $1 to this great cause, to be able to pay for the funeral. And we would also like, if you were to pay for the funeral, for you to attend to show support for the Brown family. Thank you very much and have a nice week, BLM. Are we done here? Man, I tell you I'm doing this stupid job.
Hello, welcome to WLM. My name is Giancarlo Cruz. We're going to be talking tonight about an incident where the police were unjustly accused of killing a 19-year-old black male. We got a personal interview with Chief Surgeon and President of the American Medical Association, Dr. Canary.
Hello, Dr. Canary. Thank you for your time. What are the conclusions you can make with the autopsy that you've done?
So through the autopsy, the careful autopsy of this victim, we have found that there were in fact traces of THC in his system. So at the time of the incident, he was under the influence, and this could have impaired his abilities. On top of that, this victim was a huge man. He was really big, and because of that, multiple shots were needed in order to put him down, or else he would have been able to fight back, looking at his figure. Furthermore, cops are under a lot of stress these days. People always say that they're blaming them for shooting victims just because they're due to racial injustice, things like that, but that's not the case in all the situations, and definitely not in this. The policeman had a right to shoot this victim because he was infringing in private property as well. So in the end, from my professional opinion, from a medical opinion as well, there were no extra shots that were taken. There was this right necessary amount of shots, and also furthermore, the THC that was in his system did play a role, and the officers should not be blamed for this incident.
Thank you, Dr. Canary.
Thank you.
Welcome back to WLM. So getting back to this case, detectives found out that there was no orange tip on this gun, this BB gun, making the police officer at this crime scene believe that it was a real gun. Not only was this black male trespassing in private property, he was also urinating in private property. Imagine if kids were seeing him urinating in his private property. That's uncalled for. And told by a doctor there was traces of THC. This is proving that he is a druggie. And to be honest, this is just another case of police officers just doing their jobs, to what they signed up for, to be America. They want to improve America, and they want to make America great again. And there's nothing else that I can say about this, but the police officers were just doing their job. So I want to thank you for joining us tonight to WLM. And stay safe out there, because the police officers are right there with you. Thank you. Have a great night.